just gonna hit record and let's get this video going. How you doing, guys? Welcome back to this channel. I was recently looking over my sales and we hit a milestone, and I'm just kind of excited to share it with you. That you know, I don't want to brag or anything, because trust me, these numbers need to be explained. So you probably saw the title, you know what I'm getting into. If you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, we've owned this grocery store for 4 years now. We've built it from literally the ground up. There was nothing here, and we're just happy to be in this position and building this channel. So yeah, like and subscribe down below if you're into small business. I'm trying to be a small business channel, and yeah, I show you the ins and outs so you don't have to make the same mistakes I do when you open your own business.
We are just really excited that we've made it this far. You know, they always say the first 5 years are the hardest. I would have to say the first 2 were definitely like the hardest, because you have to try to get people into your store. But we have come so far, and there's so many things that we had to put in place to change things, and you know, to find things that would work better than current things that we had in place to get to where we are now. And I feel like it's come a long way.
Just got another customer. It's been kind of a slow day, but it's picking up near the end of the day. You'll find that most of your days in retail, the mornings are quiet, but the afternoons are when you get busy. People generally after work do their shopping, or you know, nobody likes getting up early. They'll do their shopping a little later in the afternoon. So you might be wondering how this store performed over those last 4 years, and I gotta say, the first year was obviously the slowest. The second year really picked up, and the third year, 2020, you know, with everything going on in the world, you'd think our store got, you know, really affected in a negative way, but actually grocery in general had seen an uptick. So we were blessed in that sense to actually have one of our best performing years in the 2020 year, with, you know, the pandemic and everything. Now 2021 and 2022 were just as good as 2020, I would say. We balanced out the 2.5 million quite well in the last 3 years. We're really looking for more growth now, and you can do the math on average on how we did per year. But it really took a lot of different products. You have to sell so many little things in order to get to that number. So it really takes a lot. Like if you look at something like this, costs $5, and you know, most of the things around here cost between $4 or $5. There is some things that cost, you know, upwards of 20, certain olive oil, certain baked goods like specialty items. But figure, doing the math, how many individual products have to go through a store like this just to get to that amount of number is absolutely crazy and mind-boggling in a way, because you really look at the amount of space you have and you just say $2.5 million has gone through this store in that amount of time. And I know it's not crazy, it's not unbelievable, because there's stores that do much more than that, and this is just our personal experience. But you know, to us, it's been a pretty good run. So over the last 4 years, we've made a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided if we knew a little better. But this being our first business, we had to go through them the hard way, and they didn't kill us. They certainly didn't make our life any easier, but it would be nice not to have to repeat them again if we started another business, or for you guys to be able to completely avoid them if you start your own business. So the first thing that I can say that we made a mistake with is not starting with enough money. We spent the very last time we had on outfitting the place, building it up, getting, you know, everything set up, looking good, and we just didn't have enough capital to really fill the place up with inventory to maximize our sales, to give that first impression when the grand opening hit. You know, people would come in and be like, wow, this is, you know, a store that I can see myself shopping at every single week. We simply didn't have enough inventory to start, and that is the silent killer in this business. Because even now you'll see like these shelves are bare right here. We take a lot of our stuff down at night to preserve them, put them in refrigerators and a walk-in cooler, but people won't say anything to you, you know, if they don't like your store. You know, they'll just look around and they won't say anything, and they'll leave and they'll never come back. That's why I always say start with enough money to last you 6 months to a year where you're not making any money, so you can actually build a real business and gain a pretty good following to keep you through those lean first few years. As you've seen in the title of this video, we're happy to announce after 4 years in business, it's a long process to get here, but we hit 2.5 million in sales, and everything went through Felicia's till at the front. I did most of the stocking. I just can't fathom $2.5 million worth of inventory going through pretty much my hands and Felicia's hands and out that door right there. It's just mind-boggling to think of that number, you know, being sold in this small store. But you know, we didn't start like that profitable. That is not profit, or by any means. That is strictly sales, and it's just, you know, a milestone number that, you know, I looked one day today actually, and I just said, you know what, it's time to actually document this so I can look back on it in the future as well. And I do like to always keep it real on this channel as much as possible. I will tell you, you know, if things are going kind of south in our business, if things are going, you know, good in our business. I'm very transparent, and that's why we built this channel to educate and provide value to people who are starting their own small business. Because, you know, if you haven't been in business before and you take such a huge risk on starting, you know, whatever retail store you may be looking at, it's nice to actually have some of a inside detail on what you're getting into. And that's what I wish, you know, I did a little bit more research on when I first started. Someone actually doing what I wanted to do at a reasonable level. You know, not someone who's, you know, has 5 huge grocery store chains and, you know, they don't really have the same experience anymore as someone who is just starting out. So that's exactly why this channel exists today. And none of it, you know, came easy, and it's still not easy. It'll never be easy, and that's what I like to tell people who are trying to get into business, to forget about, you know, anything being easy or, you know, making fast money right away. Really understand that if it's worth it, it's going to take time. Of course, we made huge mistakes over the last 4 years, and getting into them, you know, all of them right now is almost impossible, because we probably make mistakes every single day on, you know, certain items to carry, or certain things we did wrong, or, you know, missing an email. There's always going to be mistakes you make in the business, and you can't sweat the small things. Just look at the bigger picture, and that's one of the biggest mistakes that I couldn't focus, you know, focus on, or realize that it wasn't something that I could control. The small little mistakes would have me completely, you know, stressed out, and, you know, I couldn't look at the bigger picture. And another huge mistake, just to generalize, you know, what happened over the 4 years, is not being able to say no to, you know, vendors or customers, and buying things that weren't selling just to please certain customers who weren't even buying them, or, you know, showing, you know, that we could order a bunch of stuff from vendors so, you know, my ego looked good, and, you know, but we ended up with a lot of things, a lot of dead inventory that simply didn't move, and food that doesn't sell turns into waste, and nobody pays you back for that. So just be able to say no and be firm for customer complaints. You know, you always want to please your customer, but definitely, you know, have certain, I guess, barricades or, you know, policies set in place that you're able to be firm and say no when things simply don't make sense for you in the long term.
So we had to bring in a lot of different items, like, so for example, we did gluten-free, we have a whole section on that, we have vegan-friendly items and keto-friendly, and surprisingly, you would never know how many people are actually like following those types of diets until you actually have the items.
So we originally started this grocery / convenience store with the idea, it would just be a simple fruit and vegetable market, and that would be it.
It actually had to be much more than that. The more you have, the more you can sell. The more variety you have, the more you'll sell, and then pretty much the more, you know, you cater to people, you'll sell it. So we had no choice but to expand into other types of market.
I know what I said before on, you know, don't bring in things for anybody, but Felicia has the first-hand experience on that.
Yes, so a wise salesman, he was my favorite one ever, he actually retired. He told me to never bring anything in for a customer who isn't a regular customer unless they're going to actually take half a case. So we will get a lot of customers. Literally, I probably get like 10 suggestions a day on, can you carry this, can you carry that? If they're a regular customer, I have no problem bringing it in because I know they're gonna end up buying it. They might not buy it all at once, but they'll definitely like come back on their weekly trips to grab it. If I've never seen them, I go by what my old friend Joe said, and he says, will you take a case? Because if they're not gonna take a case, then that means they're not planning on coming back after I get this product, and they'll probably just take one and then not come back for another 6 months, and I don't want to be stuck with that product. So
yeah, we're pretty good at gauging it now. If it's a product that may be a good recommendation, we might try it. But if it's something like, you know, salmon oil from the Northeast Antarctica, Palm Springs, you know, we're not gonna be so, you know, easygoing and bring this case in, and then me and Felicia have to try to eat it on Christmas Eve because it's about to expire. Yeah. So yeah, Felicia's got that pretty much down. She can gauge who's serious and who's not.
And we do have customers that actually will take like an entire case. So it's not like they say no. Like some people will say yes, but you know, that means that person's serious about getting the product in. I
think so much emphasis on this because it's just the basis of customer service. You have to be nice, you have to cater to them, but you also need to know what is going to affect your business.
Boundaries.
And you need your boundaries, of course, or else, you know, you can bring in all this stuff, but if no one buys it, you're on the fast track to
losing money.
Zero.
Yeah, zero, losing money.
Same thing. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, oh, you know, what's 2.5 million in 4 years? A store I know does $1 million in 1 year, or that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. Just understand, guys, that, you know, it's 2-3 employees here tops, and you know, we're really trying to get this thing off the ground still. It's still a new business. 4 years is really nothing in the grand scheme of businesses. So you really have to take it with what it is, and I go with the flow now. I really learned that it's gonna take a long time to build an established business, and I thought, just like many people do, you know, when you open the doors, everyone's gonna flock in. There's just so much more to it. There's just so much more to it, and I hope this channel provides even a tenth of what it takes to really truly run a small business. Because anybody who owns one, you know, congratulations. Even if, you know, you're on your way out of small business, congrats for trying, because I know how hard it can be just to make $1, just to get people in the door, just to get people to engage with your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts. It goes on and on and on. I'm gonna end this video here, guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for always coming back to this channel. We really strive to help you build your business, and I hope you have a great day.